Hello and welcome to our first ever Matchbox. It's a podcast about entertainment, and I'm Max Tutty, and with me today is Alid. Alid, how are you?
Right.
Also with me is Chris.
Hello.
And also with me is Hobie.
You right?
How's everyone? It's our first one.
I'm fine. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thrilled.
So basically this podcast is we're going to be talking about stuff that happened in the week, news, stuff like that, but mainly we're going to be discussing what we really love, which is games, TV, films, and I assume that's why you're listening. It's because you love games, TV and films, because you're on the internet, probably at 1 o'clock in the morning, searching for YouTube, and you found this bullshit podcast.
Well, I'd be more surprised if they were searching for porn and found us.
True. Yeah, they are searching for porn, but they've got a YouTube tab up.
Yeah, they're multitasking.
Yeah.
Good on you. Good on
We
you.
could just stick up a picture of Hobie in a bikini.
Yeah, true.
Which does exist.
They've probably got a tab of us. They've probably got a tab of UGs or something. They've probably got the Xbox on, the PS3 on, the TV on, using a lot of electricity. These bunch of losers listening to another bunch of losers moan. You got any more you want to say?
No, you pretty much summed it up.
So explain to us, Hobie, what is the Higgs boson?
Well,
I assume you know that.
first of all, Higgs-like.
No, he didn't say what they discovered.
Yeah, but that's what they have.
He just said, what's the Higgs boson?
Fuck knows. God knows. No, it is what gives matter its mass. Am I right so far?
Yeah.
Alright, well then. Case closed.
That's more science than any news article I've read.
Yeah.
God, yes.
Alright. Well,
First of all,
what
you
have
didn't
they
say
been
God
saying?
particles, so you're already one up on them.
Okay, what have they been saying then?
Barely anything. They just say God particles found.
Yeah.
They just rewrite that, paraphrase it about 5 times, and that's their news
I read
article.
that, well, I don't know his first name, so I'm going to assume Dr. Higgs, when the announcement came,
Probably
he started
Peter.
crying.
Is it Peter? That went through my head.
Apparently tears came from his
No,
eyes.
that was just that picture I think I saw there. Was that the Daily Mail or something?
I read it on BBC News. They
Maybe
said
they all use the same still sort of thing. I think he just had. I think he was probably cleaning his glass or something. I was watching a live feed sort of thing.
The
And
Daily
yeah,
Fail.
I don't think he cried. As, they were making it out as if
Yeah,
he
he
was
was like,
tearing
"Oh,
up
I'm
sort of
so
thing. No, I
happy."
don't think so.
I
I
watched
don't
the
know where they
coverage
were.
as well, and I watched it on BBC. I watched it on BBC News, Sky News, CNN, some Indian news report thing.
Why?
Well, I was just seeing all the different
Yeah.
types of coverage, and it was all bollocks.
Yeah, it's all vaguely the same.
They nearly all of them said God particles found, which is just an obvious. Oh, look at this! The God particles
It's
been
like
found.
pretty much everything they've just said is wrong.
Yeah. They all literally Sky News. This is a massive thing. This Higgs thing. This is massive. Sky News put the banking story above the Higgs thing. So that's how much they care about that.
But that's always the case, surely.
Yeah,
I mean,
sadly.
Yeah, but I
it
don't.
is.
you know when election 2012 was going on,
Yeah.
and I think you were telling me about how this show that was a one-off thing now becomes everything. And it had David Mitchell in it and some other people that I didn't know.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock live.
That's the one, yeah. Well, they were going on about the elections, and they got Brian Cox involved,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, scientist.
Oh, that was it. Just
And it was
yeah.
like top 10 things you should actually be worried about. And Brian Cox started listing off all these
Yeah,
things like,
black
oh, we've got
holes and
this
stuff, yeah.
meteor coming towards us, and it will miss us by well, not millimeters, but
Yeah.
a minuscule amount in the grand scheme of things. And he was going on about this earthquake volcano that hasn't erupted yet, and
Solar
earthquakes that haven't
flares.
happened yet. And I was just like, all good reasons to be scared of life, but it just didn't fit. And that should have had its own show, which was more important, rather than
Well, it
let's
did.
bring in a scientist for politics.
The Wonders of the Universe.
Yeah.
With Brian Cox talking shit.
Can I just also intercede that Brian Cox was on the Andrew Marr show? So not Andrew Neil, sorry. And he was talking about.
Does he have his own show? Andrew Neil? The Andrew Neil show?
Yeah, Sunday, whatever.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Or is it Andrew Marr?
No,
Andrew-
No, Andrew
has
Neil.
his own show as well.
Does
It's
he?
not called the Andrew Neil Show.
It was like
The
Sunday.
Daily Politics.
Yeah. And Brian Cox was saying that the government has spent more money in the last couple of years bailing out the banks than it has in the science.
Our government.
Our government, yeah. And it has in the sciences, in the funding for the sciences. Sorry, since Jesus, right?
Since
how much
Jesus.
money,
That's
his exact words.
Since Jesus. Does anyone like Brian Cox here?
Saw him on Top of the Pops once.
Yeah.
I was amazed. He was like he was a pianist. I was like, Jesus.
To be a rock star, people say. He went from rock star to scientist.
Yeah, dodgy clothes on.
But it's like, I think, fair enough, yeah, you could argue he has made science and stuff more popular. And people are like, oh, he's so good looking and everything. I mean, I don't get it.
No,
but
I don't get that either.
It's like, I don't like him, but I don't dislike him.
Apathetic.
It's like, I can't, at least he's doing science, you know? I do like that. He does educate.
So what don't you like about him?
Well, people think he is like some sort of like the new Einstein or something. It's like, no.
Who said that?
Oh, people are always saying stuff like that. Like, oh, he's an absolute genius. No, he knows his stuff. He's probably a really good professor and everything, but he's not Einstein.
Yeah. So what are your views on Cox?
Cox
loves him.
I don't mind him. I think that he's doing a right job in propagating science to the general public, who are, since the discovery of the Higgs boson and all that stuff, clueless. Clearly, they don't know what they're talking about, and they need someone like that
but they
to explain it very simply and very
uses rocks a lot. I noticed that because my dad watches him a lot, and I never really watch TV, but if I'm eating dinner, obviously it's what the dad wants to watch that you watch. And like almost every single episode, whenever he's explaining something, he'll walk around and then there'll be rocks there, and he'll pick them up and be like, you know,
it's not just
helium's got more than these 4 rocks of oxygen. And
that's just it. It's a very good way of showing things like that. Particles.
It's always just think about it. The BBC budget, they're sending him all around the world. They can't afford props. They just have a picture off the ground.
There's always a writing in the sand as well, with a big stick, going, this is where it moves, with his smile. You want to punch him in the face.
I think that's typical of most of those science things. It's not new to him.
Well, I don't understand why he's become like a sex symbol. Why all these people fancy him?
Because he's smart and sexy. And
he's not sexy.
He plays the piano. You know, he's well-rounded. He's got it all.
I don't know why.
Money.
But they do. Maybe it's purely just they think he's really, really clever.
Is it that every single scientist they've seen is either old or ugly? So when someone
he's the only scientist they've seen. Yeah. That's the point. Yeah, and he's not old.
Or they picture Einstein.
Yeah,
think
and
of
they
scientists,
go,
just old men.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
What was the best description of the thing you heard? You know, in every single news thing they got a scientist in. They say, how important is this? And then he says it's really important. And then the news person goes, if for someone that doesn't know, explain it, please.
Yeah, but the one that really pissed me off was the people, and they all said it in some form, was, what's the point? And it was just...
Sorry, what do you mean?
Well, they all go, because they're all, the scientists all saying this is one like groundbreaking. It's like, we're privileged to be living in this time when it's like one of the most important scientific discoveries ever. And they're like, yeah, but what are the practical applications of it? I mean, really? And it's like,
well, what were they?
Well, what are they?
So, like, they can't get their head around that knowing how the universe is made, like, we can't do anything with that.
Well, I thought replicator when I heard it. I was like, replicator.
Might be a bit far off, but it's valid. It's there, you know? Everything is made up of these elementary particles. So it stands to reason you can do anything with them. If you know what they are and can one day maybe manipulate them, where's the end? You can do anything. You are God.
I saw a good one. They were explaining the Higgs boson. They were explaining it with ping pong balls and sugar, right? And he did what he did. He got a tray. Yeah, he was rolling it. So he got loads of ping pong balls, maybe 12 ping pong balls or something. And he had this tray, and he was sort of bending it to and fro. So the ping pong balls were rolling up and down the tray, And he said, yeah, this is what the protons are flying about the speed of light. Is it just after the Big Bang? But then the Higgs field came into play, and it basically that was represented by sugar granules. So he poured the sugar onto the tray with the ping balls on, and of course then they weren't moving as much because the sugar was in the way. And he was saying that slowed them down. They gained mass as we know today. So has anyone watched anything during this week?
I went to see Killer Joe.
Killer Joe?
Yeah, with Matthew McConaughey. I know he's a shit actor, but it was a really good film. It had some good sex scenes in it.
Nice.
McConaughey made a woman. He put a bit of chicken, like a chicken leg, on his cock.
Cooked. Yeah.
Cooked, yeah, from KFC.
A
A cooked chicken thing, because he was
whole chicken,
like a chicken, leg
this
sort of
cock
bit.
up the chicken's ass.
No. He had his trousers on, but he put a chicken in front of his cock
Was he
and
sitting
made this
down?
woman suck the chicken. it was a I hardly suggest that film. It was a brilliant film.
Is it supposed to be a comedy?
Yeah, it's like a comedy
dark.
sort of thriller. Yeah. But yeah, I saw that. What about you? What did you see?
I watched two things. First thing I watched was Addams Family. First time in years. I didn't realise how brilliant it was. It's so dark. There's so many dark elements in it.
How old is it?
Early 90s.
90s, definitely.
90s.
Yeah, maybe 91. Something like that. Anyway, I watched that. That was brilliant. Second thing I watched, and I've got to pose a question. I watched a documentary on Channel 4 about breastfeeding with Kate Garraway. I wanted to pose the question, would you ever drink breast milk?
As I am
It is
now.
breast milk.
Breast milk.
Is
You don't
it
know who
safe?
it's from.
Like, is it from
Yeah,
someone
it's
that's
safe.
Probably
It's safe, yeah.
Like, is it my wife, sort of thing? I know it doesn't really matter, sort of thing. But I'd be more comfortable if it was.
If she's clean,
Yeah.
what does it matter?
I know, I agree, but well, yes, I probably would.
What would you? What if, for example?
What, straight from the tip? Is that what you're saying?
No,
I don't know. I wasn't imagining that. I didn't. But you know, why not?
I know. I mean,
In for a penny.
what if, for example, you had one woman's breast milk who tasted really, really nice, tasted really sweet, as some of them did, right? But then you have another woman, for example, if your wife had really sour tasting breast milk, which would you rather drink?
Well, probably one that tastes nicer.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, the nicer one.
Thing is, in the documentary it was mentioned that in America you have women who have had babies who keep producing milk and just think, well, I'm making more breast milk than I need. So they started selling it. In America it's legal to do that, right? So they started selling it and then they realised they're making more money from producing breast milk than they are from their day job. So then they just go full time and they're just dairy cows. Every day. There was some woman who said they can produce a pint of milk
Blimey.
from
What would you need? Like, I mean, what would your diet be like?
this. I mean, the women,
Protein.
the women that were doing this, they were producing their milk in Britain. There was someone who was donating her milk to the NHS because she was a nurse and understood how fundamentally important breast milk is to newborn premature babies. So she was donating the milk, which you were legally allowed to do. Still a bit bizarre.
She sounds clever, but I imagine her being mad, like sort of with loads of cats. Sort of saying, "Here's my breast milk."
Well, she did have the pump thing on. She took it off and was like, "Do you want to try it?" And Kate Garrett was like,
Okay.
yeah. And she tried it and she was like, it was a bit weird. She said,
I know that's just the point. It's like when you think about it, it's like, is it?
It's just a social taboo.
Yeah, exactly. It's society. We think it's wrong, sort of thing. But it's like, well, it's milk.
would you, well, I mean, when you think about it, you're having milk you get out of
Yeah.
carton. It's cow's milk. It's designed for
Completely
baby
different
calves.
species.
At least breast milk
It's
is
human,
designed for
yeah.
human consumption. Yeah, in the documentary they were talking about she had a stool in some sort of exhibit or something, an art show. She said, "Who wants to try breast milk?" And everyone immediately was like, "No way, that's disgusting. That's just wrong." But a couple of people were brave enough to go ahead and try it and actually said, "It's all right. It just tastes like full cream milk sort of thing." And then
I don't like Phil Croom. No.
well, skim the fat. And then as soon as a couple of people started it, everyone was going. Everyone wanted to try some. Because when are you ever going to try that in your life? I mean, it's a bit weird to be asking your girlfriend or your wife. Yeah.
Let me.
What are you feeding the baby? Can I try a little bit of that? It's just weird. It's some sort of weird sex spy fetishes where they have like milk maze. I don't know.
So did you answer? Would you try it?
Yeah, I would try it because again, you're only ever going to try it once, most likely.
If it was cheaper than cow's milk, would you buy like cartons of it?
Well, I don't drink cow's milk now, but hypothetically, yes, I would.
Yeah. So when you think about it,
but you think about it, it could be.
I assume
It's
if they're
from
selling it
somewhere.
at Sainsbury's, it's safe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what cows are coming from. I assume they are healthy, safe cows. They're not.
It would need to be regulated.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. And I'm assuming if they're selling it in Sainsbury's or Tesco's, it is. So ignore that. It's not going to be like, oh, it's dirty. It's like, no, it's just the fact that it's come from a human.
Could be a good sort of increase in jobs.
If they could put a picture of the woman on the car. Well, you know, like, because I mean.
What, with the jugs out? Like,
No, just.
Katy Perry milk or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
I'd buy that.
I would. I'd bathe in it.
And then you could get, like, you know, the Tesco Smart Price ones? Like the 20p cartons. They're obviously the less attractive.
Yeah, if you go to Marks and Sparks, you'll have like this isn't normal milk.
You get like free range.
This is Katy Perry milk.
Yeah,
What about
it could be like celebrity perfumes.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. They each bring out their own.
Celebrity milk.
did you see the guy today in the news in Cambridge, I think it was, who dressed up as Batman, went running around the streets as a masked vigilante in Cambridge?
Was he actually?
Fighting crime.
Yeah.
Well, no, he was just
No,
running
it's
around,
just for a laugh.
going up to people.
Well, like a drunken student. I'm Batman.
How old was he?
I'm guessing he was in his 20s.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know, he made an effort. It looked alright.
I mean, he looked like a prat.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
But
Well,
anyway,
is it a bet? What?
No, he just did it because it was a laugh.
Yeah, it's funny.
That would be funny. And he got the voice down to a T. She was like,
that was
going
good.
around, I'm Batman.
That wasn't.
Was it? Is it a publicity stunt?
No, yeah, he's sort of...
Christopher Nolan paid.
Yeah.
And he got 2 cardboard boxes and put a strap over his shoulders and had one box in front of him, one behind him, painted it black like it was the Batmobile pod. And
He did have the guns on the front, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did have something sticking
like
out the
toilet
front,
tubes
and he
or
just
something.
ran around.
Just
Does it
running
look like?
around.
Did it look good, or was it look
No,
like?
it looked horrible.
You knew it was shit, but you recognised it. So you'd like go, oh god, that's meant to be. It's just like a box, a bit where he's slotted through. His legs are coming out the bottom of it, so it's like Flintstones. And he's got like they're probably like broomsticks or something sticking out.
What
the
was he
front.
doing? Was he actually fighting crime? Was
No.
He
Not
was
what I
running-
saw. He just ran up to people and just said stuff.
Like what? Would he go up and just say, I'm Batman, and they'd be like, alright.
That's what I
and he run
saw.
off, or would he be
I
like,
think it was at a bus stop or something.
Thank God you're here,
Someone
Jokers.
was sitting down or something. He just ran up to him and went, "I'm Batman," and he just ran off again. And he was just running about as if he was riding.
He was doing the sound of it, it's like... and just running down this shopping street. These people are looking at him like, what the hell? He's going, like Chris said, he was going up to people in bus stops and going, it's not who you are underneath the cans, it's what direction you do this.
Has he been sectioned, or is he just some guy who really likes Batman?
Wrong. He's just running around as Batman.
Well, he's excited for the new movie, isn't he?
Yeah.
Coming out.
Has he got one of his mates that dressed up as Bane or something?
Do you really think he's got mates?
He paid someone to record him.
But did anyone see ages ago, there was this guy who dressed up as Alien from Alien on the tube? And he just went around on the tube.
What a fully formed cinema.
That was yeah, and it was brilliant. The
Was
artistic
he on his way
value
to a
was
convention? Because I saw someone dressed at the London Comic Con last year.
brilliant. He said it was in preparation, if I remember, for the Comic Con, and he spent like a week just going around.
Might be the same guy.
It looked brilliant. And he would just, and he'd like,
Yeah.
because obviously of how tall he was, and he would like crouch in, and he would just, it looked like there was an alien on the tube, and everyone would be there like, look at him, then and he had the mouth. If I remember correctly, he had the mouth as well, and he'd go, and like everyone was shitting themselves. And I'd love to have the skill and the lack of friends and all of that to make something that actually looks
One
good.
of the best costumes I ever saw, it was a video, probably like one of the London ones. It was amazing. It was Iron Man, and it wasn't just like plastic shit. It was amazing. The flaps, the mask actually like went, and then the eyes lit up, and it came back, and he had the like the wing. Oh, it looked incredible. I was playing it over and over again. People like going, do the mask, and you just go, and it'd come back. It was incredible. Like the hands lit up, yeah. He had all the lights, and there was like a list of like how long it took him and how many lengths of wire it took and how many like diodes in the eyes and in the hands and everything like that, and it looked incredible. That's when I you know, most people they dress up and you think twat, but people that really go all out, still a twat, but you have to admit it's like fair enough. They've got some skill to make something like that.
Dedication.
Well, I saw that Master Chief costume for like £1,000.
Yeah, but that's properly made like by a company sort of thing. These people make it themselves and they are amazing. It's like they're just sitting in their shed just brilliant.
Very few are amazing, can I just point out. Most of them
are shit, but it's when you see stuff like that you go, nice, that is good. Yeah.
When people do cosplay as well, I never understood that, wanting to dress up and go to conventions and stuff, but wanting to dress up and they've got like swords and stuff, big Final Fantasy swords, and they're like pretending to fight each other, and they think they're so cool, and they've got the big like
but they are cool guns in their worlds.
Yeah.
Like if you went there, they'd probably be the coolest ones there.
Well, that's just it. I was watching this Iron Man thing, and I wanted it. I wanted that costume, but I wouldn't wear it in public. That's the twist.
If it hid my face completely and no one knew who it was under the costume, I'd do it.
Iron Man.
No, I'd do the alien one. I'd shit people up with it. I'd wait down dark alleys and I wouldn't like intend to do anything, but you know, just imagine that you're walking home, pitch black at night, and then you just hear it, and you behind you, and I'm there, like in some sort of alien position. Start walking forwards. You'd run.
Yeah, but what if someone came up the alleyway dressed as Predator?
Yeah.
I'd take him on. Predator's way better.
Or a real predator turns up and actually thinks you're an
invisible as well. That's one hell of a costume.
I saw as well this week actually. I saw a video on YouTube of a guy pretending to be a zombie, and he had like his mouth was dripping blood and stuff. Like we said, a ripped shirt with all blood in it. He had the face painting, so it was like slightly green. Stuff like that. And he was just running around the streets, just dribbling. But people were shitting themselves, as you would. This guy's coming towards you, dribbling like a guy with rabies, and you've got to come in. It's just
they're not scared that it's a zombie. They're scared that it's a madman.
Yeah, fucking maniac coming towards you, and there's people like climbing onto cars or something, trying to avoid this guy. And the last thing on the video, everyone runs away from this guy. This zombie runs into a basketball pitch, and everyone's running away from him. But this one big black guy stops and just looking at him like, "What the hell are you doing?" And the zombie's trying to scare him off. The black guy just starts walking towards him as the zombies realise, "Oh shit!" and then suddenly, all these other like 50 other black people come and they start running up this one guy.
If you had money no object, you could wear any costume for this sort of like banging party. What costume would you want to wear?
Ewok.
Everyone else is dressed up, so
yeah.
Because the idea of something that hides your face, I can see the benefits.
So you would have an Ewok?
Yeah, hide your face. You can do that.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, you can still hide your face and be something remotely cool and.
Someone integrity.
I was going to say respectable, but it's like,
At least people are like, "Oh, you want to pat you on the head or something." If you got to try and walk in as Darth Vader, yeah, fuck off. Yeah, Darth Vader.
That's just it. It's like, would you go as Darth Vader?
I wouldn't go as Darth Vader.
I think probably tall enough.
Yeah,
but if you went to something like that, you'd have to prove yourself. You'd have to prove.
I could do it sort of. I could do a good impression.
No, I mean you've got to like have the prowess.
We need to see this. We need to hear this impression.
That's part of the suit.
You can do it. Ali can do a good Gollum.
Yeah, do your Gollum.
Go on, do a Gollum.
Where's it going?
That's how I feel about the podcast.
Well, I take it you dress up as Halo, Master Chief.
I don't know what I'd go as.
Money was no object.
A
so.
good Gears of War costume would be good, and you could show your face because I don't buy into this hide my face thing.
I'd rather go
Everyone
as
else is
Halo.
dressed up.
Ignoring the
Master
hiding
Chief
your
is
face.
good. Master Chief is good.
But that is a better costume.
I don't know. The cogs are good.
I would
You
either
just
go
want the
as
chainsaw gun, wouldn't you? The
Sorry.
launcher.
Dead Space. I would either go as Isaac Clarke or I'd go as one of the bad guy necromorphs because I'm lanky enough to pull that off. You don't hide your face or whatever, and they're not particularly like muscly or toned. They've just got extra limbs and scythes coming out of their shoulders and stuff. You tell me that wouldn't be scary.
Would you be able to control all the...
Well, money's no object. I'd spaz out with it. I'd like type thing.
Really?
That would be brilliant. And if you went as a Clark the
Don't wanna go
engineer,
as
his
Chewbacca?
suit's really good. It's too
So,
traditional.
what about you, Chris? So far, there's an Ewok and whatever you are.
So you don't want to be alien?
Yeah, but it's already done. I don't think anyone's pulled off a necromorph.
Well,
Planning to research. R2D2.
fuck off.
C-3PO. the
Davros.
the kid Anakin.
I'd ride around as Davros.
Yeah, but you're gonna. True, that
I
would
would do
be.
that.
Get one of those
And it
electric
would,
scoots
it
and
would
just
proper,
cover it with
and
dark alien.
motorised, and I'd have the face, and yeah, I'd do that.
So we've got Davros, a Necromorph,
Necromorph.
Or
an Ewok,
engineer.
and a Gears, a cog from Gears of War.
How many people do you reckon would recognise it? If we went to the average costume party, I don't know, it's someone's birthday, you went out.
They'd get an Ewok.
Yeah,
Okay, they'd get the
They
Ewok.
wouldn't get you.
yeah, they
No,
would get you.
I wouldn't want them
They've
to
got
get me.
probably more. No, most people wouldn't. Yeah, they might
I
have a
think
vague
people
idea
would
where
get
it came,
you.
but they wouldn't get the name. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't
Right.
name it.
I reckon
Would you
they
just
don't
go as a
know.
generic cog though? That's the point. Or would
Yeah.
you try
Right,
and
yeah, you'd
mark
have
us?
to with a helmet because you don't really look like any of them.
Yeah, exactly. What about the helmet? Carmine's helmet.
That's true. We've all got our faces masked in some way, I suppose.
I've got a story. I went to a fetish party once.
Yeah.
You went to a what?
Fetish party.
A legit, proper fetish party.
But how legit does it have to be? It's a fucking fetish party.
Did you like pay entry and
No.
what was happening?
We were hosting our house. That was when I was a student living away. We all dressed up in various different costumes. I wore probably the tamest of all the costumes. I won't get into what they wore.
You wore an
But-
Ewok costume.
Finally, it was like tight, like speedos that were way too small for me. There was like David off
Yeah.
Little Britain. Then I wore the tight surfing top as well. I wore fishnet. It was just horrible. It was really awkward because when you're first there and everyone starts arriving, you're sober, you're completely sober, and everyone's looking at you like, what the hell? Like, where the hell did they drag you from? But towards the end of the evening, you're getting really drunk and nobody cares. And then you always get that one guy who brings the Diablos to the party, the really nerdy guy who has to bring something to make him look good. So he was there with Diablos and everyone's watching like, wow, yeah, and he's fucking up everyone and nobody's caring because they're all drunk.
Yeah.
And I got
Did
really
he get laid? Did he get like, a lot of
Did
action?
anybody?
Yeah, so as the party got on and everyone started getting really drunk, and there was a guy who was a friend of a friend sort of thing. He came up behind me and just whispered. He put his chin over my shoulder, so I didn't see him coming. All I heard, I felt his breath and I heard his whisper. It was like, "You look good in those jorts."
So he said that, and
Yeah.
you didn't hear him coming.
He says, those fishnets make you look well sexy. I was like, fucking not.
Do you know
This
him?
guy, I knew his name at the time,
Did
but
you ever see him again?
he was at my uni. He was a friend of a friend, sort of thing. I mean, he probably wouldn't remember anything afterwards.
What was he wearing?
I bet he took some pictures.
No, we were the only ones wearing anything. It was 5 of us lived in the house. Everyone else came in their normal clothes. It was just like it was.
Alright.
They
I
probably
would have
thought it was a
waited till
normal
everyone
party.
people started turning up before I went and changed.
Fucking-
Or I would
So
have
did
just
you not
gotten
advertise
changed
it as a
afterwards.
fetish party?
Yeah, we did. We said dress up in fetish stuff.
I bet loads of people were thinking, "Oh, a really fit gal's going to be really scantily clad," and then they're greeted by Ali in his fishnets. Welcome to the party.
With furry legs.
Well, at least one person was pleased.
Yeah, true.
True. Sounded like he was on it.
Yeah.
So that was our first ever Matchbox. Email your views to matchbox@live.com. That's the thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We're also on Twitter, are we? On Twitter.
Yeah, we're on Twitter.
Hashtag something.
The Matchbox.
Yeah, the Matchbox. Or hashtag the Matchbox.
The links are below.
Yeah.
Just look.
We're on Facebook, Matchbox profile. We're on every single site. Email your views. Email
Any
things you
hot
want to talk
topics,
about. Yeah. Email things you want to ask one of us.
Things you want us to discuss.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And email pictures of yourself.
Yeah, if you
If
fit
there's any
women.
women out there.
Oh man.
Yeah, or men. We can. You'll be up for that.
Alid.
Anyone.
Who are we to say no to stuff that's being offered our way?
Yeah. Email us at matchbox@live.com.